Okay, Reba, you can.
So today's meeting is all filled by only Toastmasters. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I am Toastmaster Reva, the Sergeant at Arms of WIN Toastmasters Club, and I welcome everyone to this 30 chapter meeting of WIN Toastmasters Club. To start the meeting on a high note, I would request every one of you to kindly unmute yourselves and give a huge round of applause and welcome each other to the 30th chapter. Please unmute and let's give a huge round of applause. Thank you. Just like every other meeting, even this meeting has few ground rules that I would request each one of you to kindly follow. Please turn off your mics and turn on your cameras. And in case if your camera is off, in case if you're speaking, please turn it on. Refrain yourself from talking about sex, religion, or politics in a derogatory manner, and avoid using abbreviations. For example, instead of naming in General Evaluator, please use the full form General Evaluator instead of GE. Same goes for the Toastmaster of the day and the other role plays as well. Feel free to use the Zoom chat box throughout the meeting in order to express your thoughts and compliments. In case if you miss any of the WIN's meeting, the sessions get recorded, so you can visit our YouTube channel and relive the moments there. Now, before I leave this virtual podium, please allow me to welcome someone who has been multitasking a lot lately. Apart from being a very active Toastmaster, she has also learned how to drive, and we can evidently see that by her WhatsApp stories in which she recently drove to a highway. But did you know, apart from learning how to drive, she has also started to learn tennis and resumed playing badminton. What a passionate learner she is, isn't it? If I start counting the number of things she does, I'm pretty sure I might just run out of fingers. Ladies, please unmute yourselves and give a huge round of applause and welcome our President, Toastmaster Ruchira Singh. It is all yours, Toastmaster Ruchira.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Reva, Sergeant at Arms, for always finding a way to introduce me in such a way that I always end up at the end of the weekend with a smile on my face, because you find a unique way each week. So thank you so much for that. And welcome everyone to our session at WIN Toastmasters Club. Now, I don't see that we have any guests with us today, but I'd like to quickly induct our newest member and welcome her formally to the WIN Toastmasters group. So please feel free to unmute yourselves and welcome our newest member, Toastmaster Dipti.
Thank you.
Welcome to Toastmasters, Toastmaster Dipti. Now, as is the practice normally at every session, before we start with the session, I'd like to take I'd like to share a little story with you. So I was watching this video one day on YouTube, and it talked about this particular challenge. So there were 2 bottles of soda that were kept, and when the consumers had a blind tasting, they preferred product B over product A. But when the brand of each soda was shown to the people, then the people preferred product A over product B. And the reason is product A was the company Coca-Cola and product B was sold by the company Pepsi. Now, what happens, the psychological reason behind this is, which is called the Pepsi Paradox, is that when you don't know which brand the soda belongs to, you rely on purely the feel-good factor, and that is based on the striatum of your brain. Whereas when you're looking at the brands of the soda, then the decision that you make is made with your prefrontal cortex, which tries to tell you, what do I identify with? Now, when I read this, I realized that there was something quite unique about this example, because it explains how important the value of branding is in today's world. And when it comes to people, we each have our personal brands, which are the unique combination of our skills and experiences that set us apart and is the way that we present ourselves to the world. Now, when it comes to Toastmasters, and especially at WIN Toastmasters Club, where our motto is empowering women through words, the more that we speak up, the more that we take and grow as leaders and communicators through Toastmasters, we become better and more effective communicators in showing our personal brand and showing our unique thoughts and who we are to the world. Now, leaving that thought with you, I'd like to introduce the Toastmaster of the day for today's session. So, all right. So I see our Toastmaster of the day has not yet joined in. I think she's having a network issue. All right, there she is, just in time. Hi, Toastmaster Amrita. Can you hear us? Hello. All right, so I think she can hear us. So let me introduce our Toastmaster of the day today. So our Toastmaster of the day is a new Toastmaster, but she is no stranger when it comes to taking up the Toastmaster of the day role. And I think I speak for all of us when we remember that very unique way that she conducted a session on the monsoon theme. And I'm sure that with her intelligent way of handling the audience and coming up with quirky content, we'll have a wonderful session today. With that, I'd like to hand over the podium to our Toastmaster of the day, our anchor for the session, Toastmaster Amrita. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Toastmaster Ruchira. I applaud you for a wonderful beginning. Yes, I am here. Unfortunately, not going to live up to all your expectations, but yes, an effort of walking you back into an era which is close to our heart always, is old, ancient, but cherished always. The theme today, old is gold. A very deliberate effort of walking you to this, walking you all into this. And I want to begin with a very old ancient story, which actually resulted into this proverb. It was about an ancient ship which set into water, and midway into the water, collapsed. The engine stopped working. And when this happened, all its very experienced crew members came up. They all tried their hands to rescue themselves, rescue everybody else on board. But unfortunately, they all failed. It did not work, and they were all very worried. And it went to an extent that the owners of the ship came down to the engine room, and they were all standing around and looking at this effort being made by everybody. And then came one old person when everybody had lost their hope. This old man approached, was not a part of the crew members, an ex-crew member, somebody who had been very passionately involved into ships, worked long time, and he looked around everything. And with his inspection, all he asked for was one hammer. One hammer, walked all around the engine, knocked it thrice, and there went the engine. It started. And when this engine started, everybody was elated. They were all joyous. Of course, midway in the ship, nobody wanted to be stagnant, and this was the man who rescued them. So after the entire voyage, they asked for the bill, of course, and he sent a huge, exorbitant billing amount, which everybody was sapped looking at. And there was absolutely nothing that this person had done, was the opinion that everybody carried. What did he do? To knock a hammer, $20,000 in that time was huge. And that's when they asked for an itemized bill in a very polite note. And what did he come back with was $2,000 to knock a hammer, $2,000 to knock a hammer, and $18,000 to know where to knock the hammer. $18,000 to know where to knock the hammer was the experience that this person had. And that's when everybody understood what was the value of experience, the value of something which we all ignored. Everybody thought we are very modern, up with the technology, and who came to rescue was old experience. And with that came into being this wonderful proverb of old is gold. With this story, as we set into the theme of the day, I call upon the evaluator for our first speaker.
Toastmaster Amrita, you'd need to call the G first, the general evaluator.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
miss. I'm sorry to have missed on this. I request our general evaluator.
All right. Thank you so much for welcoming me on the stage. And with this, I bring you to the most important, yes, the important or the most important part of any meeting or any section is when we talk about speeches. But what do we take away from those speeches? We take away the feedback. Yes, I am your general evaluator for the evening, and I will help you to incorporate that feedback, to take that feedback and take home that feedback and be an effective speaker and come back with a bang on this wonderful stage. With this, I would request all of you to give you a huge round of applause yourself. A huge round of applause, my dear ladies, my dear favorite humans, my dear set of wonderful, powerful humans. With this, I would now like to tell you one more thing. Based on the theme that we used to think that old things, history is something in school, I used to think that it's not important. It's not important to read history because what happened in Battle of Palasi, I don't care. As soon as I get my pink lipstick or I get a nice kurta to wear, I'm happy. I don't need to know. But we always need to fall back on history because that's where we get lessons and pearls of wisdom. Yes, and I am here not to tell you the history, but to help you the evaluation part of your speeches. And I will not be doing that alone because I will have a brigade of 4 wonderful Toastmasters with me who are going to keep a critical eye on all of you, and will help you improve. With this, I would now like to call upon stage someone who would not wear a Gucci watch, who doesn't need to wear a fossil watch either. They do not need to embellish their watches with diamond. They just need to keep an eye on their watches. Can we please put a huge round of applause for the timer, Toastmaster Nasima, who is going to be here and explain her role. Over to you, Toastmaster Nasima.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As a role of timer, my responsibility is to keep track of the time taken by each speaker. I have 3 cards to facilitate that: green, yellow, and red. I will be changing my virtual background to green card when it is minimum time, yellow at mean time, and red at the maximum time. I'll be presenting my report when I'm asked upon to do so. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Nasima, would you like to tell us how long will be the table topic section? The
prepared speeches is between 5 to 7 minutes, and the table topics is 1 to 2 minutes, and the evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. For prepared speeches and evaluation, there is a grace period of 30 seconds upper and the lower limit. And for table topics, the grace period is only for the upper limit. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that additional information, because we always love that extra. We love that extra things. And this was so useful for many of us. With this, we move on to someone who is going to not count your smiles, not count your words either, who is going to count the things that appear between two words, between two smiles, the way you speak. Yes, I'm talking about the ah counter. And for this, we have our very new Toastmaster Deepti with us, who is going to play this fabulous role of the R counter. And I would request Toastmaster Deepti to be on stage and let us know about the role. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, ma'am, Shruti. Yeah, today, and warm welcome to all my Toastmaster friends. Yeah, today my role as a counter is to note and keep track of words and sounds used as a crutch or pause fillers, such as and, well, but, so, like, as well as sounds like that will be noted by me, and at the end of the meeting, I will submit my report. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti. That was such a strong, I would say, explanation of your role, and everyone is, I'm sure, counting their R's and ums and ers right now. And with this, we move on to your spines. No, we are not going to be doing anything with your spines. We are not orthopedicians, but we are going to mend the spines of your language. Yes, grammar is known as the spine of any language, any grammar. And grammar helps you to set context in any language. And we as Toastmasters need to work on that as well. And with this, I would now like to call upon stage Toastmaster Sangeeta, who will be playing the role of the grammarian in this meeting. Toastmaster Sangeeta, would request you to please explain your role.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmaster. Today I'll be playing the role of grammarian. As a grammarian, I will pay attention to every speaker and listen carefully to all their language usage. I will take note of any misuse of English language, as well as an outstanding word, quote, saying, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. So for today's meeting, the word is epiphany, 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 which means a movement when you suddenly realize or understand something very important. For example, my doctor's warning about my health triggered the epiphany, which inspired me to stick to a weight loss program. So each and every speaker is encouraged to use the word as many times as possible. At the end of the session, I will present my report when asked by General Evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sangeeta. And that was one introduction of your role. And I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much. And with this, I had an epiphany last night. Noted, Toastmaster Sangeeta. I had an epiphany last night that we almost always listen to people just to respond, just to give a proper response, whether it can be an argument or a question or a statement. We just want to present our opinion. And in this meeting, we have a person who listens not to respond, but to question you all, just to check how attentive were you in the entire meeting. And ladies, this role is called as the listening master role. And this is one of the most favorite, most quickly filled role in the WIN Toastmasters Club. And with this, I would like to call upon stage the listening master of this meeting, Toastmaster Kalpita Banerjee, on stage to explain her role to us. You are muted.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As a listening master, my role is to test your active listening skills. So I'll be asking you some random open questions to which you have to answer. So I would request each and every one of you to be 100% mindful and listen carefully everything throughout the session so that you can answer my questions. I'll come up with playing the role at the end during the evaluation session when the general evaluator asks me to do so. Thank you, and over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you so much. Please, I would request each one of you to please unmute yourself and give these 4 wonderful ladies a huge round of applause, a boost of confidence, because some of them are taking this role for the first time, and I would want them to bring the best smiles that they have kept in their cupboards and come up on stage and rock the stage. And with this, I would now like to call upon stage our Toastmaster of the evening, of whom I've been an admirer. That is apart from being the general evaluator. With this, I hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amrita. Over to you, Toastmaster Amrita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shruti, for infusing the meeting with a lot of energy that you bring every time. Thank you so much. And to take this forward, I welcome our evaluator 1 for the evening. The first evaluator, the evaluation that we are all looking to listen to, Toastmaster Charu.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you, Toastmaster of the day. And my role is to evaluate Toastmaster Vandana's Level 1 speech, Project 2, Evaluation and Feedback, Path Dynamic Leadership. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the speaker chooses. Timer, please note, speech timing will be 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish my speaker all the very best. Back to the general evaluator. Sorry, back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Charu. Very clearly laid down objectives. Looking forward to our speaker 1 for the evening, Vandana. Toastmaster Vandana, we welcome you on stage with your lovely speech.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, Toastmaster Vandana, you are.
On your way, if you see a bus driver or a person on a bike spitting on the road, what will you do at that moment? If you see a man bullying a child, what will you do at that moment? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. The other day, I was getting down from my car to buy some vegetables. Suddenly, some liquid fell on me. I wondered if it was raining. Then I saw a dirty red patches on my white dress. I was wondering from where it fell. Then I saw an uncivilized person spat on me from the bus. I got furious. I stopped the bus and got onto it. To my surprise, I saw, except children, all the passengers' mouths were filled with pan and gutka. I asked them who did this disgusting thing, but nobody replied. I felt pity for them. I explained them, if you consume these negative things, you are inviting deadly diseases to yourself. If something happens to you, who will look after your family, your children? Then I explained them about the harmful effects of these negative things. They acknowledged me with the clapping and promised me that they will not consume these things ever. I felt happy from inside. I thought, if a single person stops consuming these things, then I will be the happiest person. It will be a great achievement for me. After this, I organized many rallies, awareness against spitting, and pasted many posters on the walls awareing people not to spit. The most important rally was women riding scooty. Everybody in Guwahati appreciated and told the need of the era. I think our one step may lead to the cleanliness of our country, which motivates others also to do the same. Moving to next, 2 weeks ago, I was passing through a market area. I saw a man holding a child and bullying that kid. I stopped my car and went to that person. I clicked a picture of that person immediately, and I started yelling at him and called the people nearby for that. And those people, when they came, and I wanted to click the picture of that person again, but that man was hiding his face, turning around his face. He was not allowing me to click his picture, and he was unaware that I already clicked his picture. And finally, he ran from that place. But I'm sure with this incident, with the humiliating him in front of public, he will never ever be dared to do this type of inhuman incident, a heinous crime with the children. Again, our small step may help save to these children. And last pandemic, I organized many sessions on good touch, bad touch for the children, where children and their parents attended the session, and they all appreciated and told that this is the need of the era. And also, if children, this type of incidents happens to them, they can inform and complain to the person that also we told. Again, we organized a Gita preaching session and a spiritual chanting session in an old age home. All the elderly, respected elderly women, they were all very happy and engrossed in that chanting session. When their food arrived and they were about to serve, they told they don't want to have food. They are enjoying that session so much. They felt they are very happy from inside, and they felt peace in them. So again, our small step may lead to give happiness to others. In our Hindu mythology, when Rama was going to bring Mother Sita from the captivity of Ravana, and Lord Hanumana was constructing the bridge on the ocean by putting rocks in the ocean with his fleet. Suddenly he saw a small squirrel dipping himself in the ocean and again coming back to the sand and rolling himself in that sand and again taking a dip in the ocean. Then Hanumana, he asked what he was doing. The squirrel replied, I'm also giving my effort to construct the bridge. The sand particles stuck on my body, I go and take a dip in the ocean where those sand particles drop in the ocean. So if a small squirrel can give his effort, we can also give our efforts. Like our small efforts cannot change the world, but our small efforts can change the world of a person. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much. Very valid points brought forward, Vandana. Such the one that you started off with, the red spots on your white dress. I'm sure all of us in India here are somewhere or the other boggled with this. And you touched it very well. With this, I request our second evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Jayati, to set up the expectations for our second speaker of the evening.
Good evening. Am I visible and audible to everyone? Thumbs up. Okay.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. The speaker today is presenting a speech from her pathway, Presentation Mastery, Level 2, Project 1. The purpose of this project is for the members to learn about different communication styles and identify her primary style. The purpose of this speech is for the members to share the impact of her style on others. The time allotted for the speaker is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayati. And with that, we welcome Toastmaster Kritika with her speech on communication and misunderstandings, which we're all looking forward to listen to.
Thank you. Am I audible and visible?
Yes,
Am
you
I
are.
audible? Okay, thank you. So before I
Excuse me,
start,
1 minute. 1 minute. Toastmaster
if you
Kritika,
could,
there's a disturbance in your speaker, I guess. So we can't properly hear you. Am I right? Am I the only person, or is anybody else
No,
feeling
no,
it?
I'm also hearing
The
the same.
second time I
I'm
also
also.
Yeah, because if I'm not able to hear you properly, I won't be able to.
is it better now?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
perfect.
it's better. Yeah.
It's great now, great.
Thank you. So before I start my speech, I have one question for you. Raise hand if you have somewhere in the life felt misunderstood. Okay. Okay, thank you. I could see so many hands. Yes, we all have experienced misunderstanding at some point or the other. Talking about me, I have experienced that several times. And at times, I have questioned my communication skill. A wise person said, misunderstanding happens because we don't realize that different person has different communication style. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. I'm going to share about different communication styles. Every person in this world has a unique communication style. Even a newborn baby expresses the fear when he enters the world through his cries. Through the cries, his environment understands his communication. The mother understands whether the baby is hungry, healthy, happy, upset through those cries. At Toastmaster, the communication style proposed has 4 different styles: direct, initiating, supportive, and analytical. I will explain about this 4 different styles through the example of my 4 different participants. If my participant has a direct communication style, he will be totally focused, task oriented, and he will implement all the learning shared in the session immediately after the session. And he will not be hesitant to ask for help in case he needs so. If my participant is having initiative style, he will not be bothered to implement the learning himself. Rather, he will want to talk about it with his family members, people in his circle, friends, and all the group. He will help them, support them to implement this new learning. He will come back and share the challenges faced by all those people. He is a person who is a social person, fun, enthusiastic person. If the person is having supportive nature, he will ensure if the queries of the co-participant are answered properly or not. He will support all the co-participants to frame their understanding properly. He will do all the things possible for him to make everyone comfortable around him. He observe everything and everyone around him in a calm way. If the person is having analytical nature, he will ask for the testimonial about all the previous batches, how the session went, what time is start, what platform is being used, how it has transformed people's life, and so on. He shares his view slowly and very meticulously, and thus is regarded as a Mr. Perfectionist. Saying about this 4 communication style, I want to ask you again another question. What do you think? What is the best communication style among this 4? Anyone wants to share? Toastmaster Shruti?
I would like to tell you that various people, yes, they have various communication styles. And when it comes to not being able to express themselves, it's because they themselves have something going on in their mind, which is why they're not able to express it clearly. Over to you.
Thank you. Yes, very true. Toastmaster Kalpita, would you like to share? What do you think is the best communication style?
Well, after hearing all of this, of course, the last one, the analytical style, which you said. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
The analytical style, the 4th style that you shared with us, wherein the person analyzes and then understands and break it up and properly explains, goes the way, like in a very systematic manner, right? So that is what I feel. It really takes some time, and very calm person can do it. Somebody who is very calm and composed. And I feel that is, of course, always works out better among all the 4 styles which you said.
Okay. Thank you, Kalpita, Toastmaster Kalpita, and thank you, Shruti. There is nothing called the best communication style. Nothing as the best communication style, I repeat. As a competent speaker, it is our duty to adopt to others' person communication style rather than expecting them to cater to our need. It is this understanding that makes us the competent speaker. When I was reading this project, I was in a state of anephany. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. So what happened? In one of my session, one of my participant asked me a few questions, and instead of answering that, I wanted to give him analysis so that we together come to an understanding of that question. I was sharing all the informations and trying to do the discussion. And I found that the participant was bored, agitated, and irritated. His expression said, please come to the point. And now I realize, because this happened, this misunderstanding happened because both of us had different style. I was trying to initiate the conversation while that person had a direct communication style. Now, with this understanding, I realize what are the changes, tweaks I have to do in my future communication with people around me and all my participants. And with this understanding, I'm very sure that one day I will be a competent speaker and confidently present my views to everyone. Before I hand over this virtual podium to Madam Toastmaster, I have the last question for all of you to ponder upon. What do you think? What is your primary style of communication? Think about it and share in the chat window. Thank you and have a great day. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kritika. That was a speech that we were all looking forward to. Misunderstandings, an everyday affair with all of us, especially with the lockdown, as we're all stuck inside the houses. The minds are all filled with a lot of resentments, a lot of expectations. Misunderstandings are all piling up things. Thank you so much. With this, I request I request the poll to be launched for the best speaker category and of course the best evaluator category. In fact, we'll have the best evaluator later. Best speaker category, we have it on the screen.
But the timekeeper has to say, whether they are qualified or disqualified before the polling.
Both are qualified. Both the speakers are qualified.
Both our speakers are qualified. Timer Toastmaster Naseema has already given us the green flag.
We have the results for the poll.
Excellent.
Okay, just a moment. No need to share the results right now. We will have the results at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Go ahead, Toastmaster Amrita.
All right. The lovely story, old is gold. We valued the experience and the age, of course. Online shopping. In this age of technology, we see new things each day, don't we? New applications, filters, hacks, seasonal bundles, and whatnot, with 4th October just around the corner. We are bombarded with new products every now and then, and we end up buying lots and lots of new things. And in this process, what goes behind is the old. But there are things that stay very close, cherished. Your first bicycle, the first prize that we won, the first trophy, the first pen that we got, especially if it was gifted. Let me hit the strings there. A dried rose in our English book. All of these up there somewhere on top of a cupboard. We can't do away with them. Old things might lose their materialistic values, but their real worth gets appreciated day on day. Let me see if we have somebody who wants to share an experience of something which was very close, very old, yet very close, very loved. If not, I have several. Anybody who wants to bring forward theirs.
What to share?
A bottle of old wine, the old cheese that we celebrated across the world in those cheese emporiums, that old cherished sari of your mother, the one that was your favorite, an old pen which probably stopped working but still close to your heart. Anything that you want to bring forward. Toastmaster Priyanka.
Yes, Toastmaster Amrita. It's not an object, it's not a thing, but it's a person. It's my grandmother, and she is 93 years old. In spite of not being able to move, in spite of being almost static in her bedroom, still the kind of wisdom and the kind of knowledge that she has inside her cannot really equate our whole family put together at one side and my granny on one side. She will always be the heavier one, because the kind of wisdom of this 93 years that she has seen in this world is amazing and is inequitable. And perhaps that is my moment of epiphany when I became a storyteller. I realized that the stories that is gifted by my grandmother cannot be compared with anything, because old is gold. Thank
you. Indeed. Thank you so much for sharing this, Toastmaster Priyanka. Anybody else who wants to bring forward the object? I see a few cameras switched off. I think they're all running to bring the object close. Toastmaster Naseema.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Amrita. Actually, when you said old saris, I remember the sari, my mom's wedding sari. Whenever I go from Oman to India for vacation, my mom will assign me a job of arranging the cupboards for me because I am a good organizer. So when I was arranging her wardrobes, I got my mom's wedding sari. Then I immediately got an epiphany of why don't I try wearing this, her wedding sari, and take a picture and keep it. So I took that from there. I don't have time over there in India to wear that and dress up like a bride to take pictures. So I took that from India to Oman. When I got one fine day, I started wearing that sari and took picture because that sari is so special. She got it that it was a beautiful color of orange with green color border, and it was wore by the mannequin that time itself before 42 years. So they impressed by the look of that sari, and my mother's parents took from that mannequin from that store. So I wore that sari. The sari is still with full of lustrous, and the lustrous has not even reduced a drop. So I wore that sari and I took picture, and that is my oldest gold moment. Thank you, and over to you, Madam.
Thank you
Toastmaster.
so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Naseema. You've brought forward all the memories to all of us. I'm seeing all of them smiling today. I am sure they all have those cherished saris. And I had one taken out for today's session, as I usually do not get time like you to wear them. One of my mother's saris right here. Unfortunately, I did not get time to, I was stuck in something very urgent and I did not get time to wear it today. But then I'm sure there will be a day when I will be able to wear it. These memories, these things which are really old, they create such an aura of nostalgia. Is there anybody who wants to share something which is an object? Of course, sari was an object. Toastmaster Deepti.
Yeah, I just want to share something which you must be knowing about kajal bottle, you know, in which mothers used to keep surma or kajal bottle. That has got some rust over it. So I got this epiphany, why not to keep it polished and keep it as an antique piece? Because I am an art lover. So I thought it's a better idea to keep it as an antique piece because it was given by my mother and used on me and my brother on my childhood. So that's the oldest gold piece for me. And definitely there is something else which are cassettes, old movie songs cassettes from Muhammad Rafi, which my father likes. So I kept it. I know nowadays on internet everything is available on YouTube and everything, but that cassette player and recorder player, that is a kind of like old thing which we never get nowadays easily. So that is a thing to preserve and protect. And to keep it for future generations as well, to show them what is like, what old is like and how does it work, because nowadays children don't know about those things. They know only about the CD player, or nowadays speakers are there. So that's the thing. That's the thing which I old is gold for
me. And I wish,
thank you. Yeah,
Toastmaster Deepti, you could share this treasure of yours with us.
Yeah, definitely. I will show you in some of the other meeting if I can.
Wonderful. Yeah. This is actually this is very, very valuable.
Yeah,
much better than all our lovely kajals that we possess. Lovely stories with this nostalgia. I have somebody who is going to take it forward, string it further for you and make it very, very nostalgic today. Table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Mahashweta Chatterjee. A very creative, articulate Mahashweta is going to take you forward into a session which is going to boggle your minds, create more nostalgia, and you'll have all the dust off your brains.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Here I am. And thank you for all those lovely words. First thing I want to tell you all, today there are no guests. So the rules are only for the Toastmasters. And you people have to talk for 2 minutes. More than 1 minute is very important. And 30 seconds on the upper grace period. Can you all hear me? I'm sorry. Hello?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Yes. Okay. So 30 seconds on the upper grace period. Now, before I start, I should share something with you all. Yesterday, when I was when I was creating those table topics, I thought of something. In our childhood days, we have seen our grandparents. Some of us, we have seen our grandparents and the brothers of our granddads. They used to talk in a very, very lucid way. They can talk anything under the sun. Even our grandmothers, cooking, something about knitting, everything. It was very spontaneous and as if they want to talk about it. And why? Why they were so flexible when they were talking. Then I realized, it's my epiphany, that I realized that it was because it was a joint family and talking was a very, very natural process. When they are cooking, they used to talk. When they're doing anything, they used to talk. In the table, they used to talk. With friends, they used to talk. It was like talking on their feet was talking every day. So that's why they could talk anything under the sun on their feet. And nowadays, we don't do that. Touch wood, we have Toastmasters. We got to talk about something on a specific day. And that is why we have this table topic section. So, dear Toastmasters, please, please say something because all the topics are related to you. And to finish it off, I would say there is a saying, dance like no one is watching. And I would say, talk like no one is hearing. With that, I can see people raising hands. So please raise hand. And I can see Nilu Sharma. Can we have Toastmaster Nilu Sharma?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So your topic is, by the way, I cannot see anyone. I can only see me in my small window. So I don't know what's the problem here. I cannot see Nilu Sharma.
Scroll it.
No, it's only me. Okay.
Are you from mobile?
No, I'm from Kolkata. Now I can see you. Okay. So the first topic for you, an age-old habit of yours you are proud of. An age-old habit of yours you are very proud of.
Thank you so much, Madam Table Topic Master. People at home, my family members always said, when you will grow up, be mature. And I'm at the age of 47, still immature. Yes, they feel I am immature, very emotional. I should improve. Sometimes I do feel, but I really don't want to change. Or you can say nature and signature cannot be changed. I'm very emotional. Any small thing matters me. And sometimes I feel very bad if people hurt me because I do a lot for them. And in return, if they hurt me, I always feel wounded. I always feel bad. Why this happens to me? And then I make up my mind, okay, from next day, I would be diplomatic. I would like to talk more smartly and I won't open my heart in front of them. But the same next day, the same thing happens with me. So this is my old habit. I spoke
clearly, and I always say whatever is in my mind, whatever in my heart. I can't pretend whatever is nothing. I can't pretend over that. So this is my old habit, and I can't see the timer. So I would like to request Tech Master kindly pin the timer so that I can continue or not. So going to conclude my topic, that the old habit which is spoke to my heart and emotions, I proud of, and I don't want to change. Whatever is will come in my way, I will handle that. Over to you, Madam Table Topic Master. Thank you.
Yes, Toastmaster Nilu, that's true. Sometimes we do have problems when we talk our heart out. Now, can we have Toastmaster Priyanka Chatterjee?
Absolutely, Toastmaster Mahashaya.
Okay, the table topic for you is an old building in your city which fascinates you. An old building in your city which fascinates you.
An old building in my city, Kolkata, the city of joy, that really fascinates me, stays in the heart of the city. I'm talking about the Esplanade Park Street area. And that used to be my Esplanade Park Street and BBB Bar. That used to be my favorite place in my childhood because of the huge colonial bungalows and the white pillars. And whenever, because I was so small, whenever I will get under those pillars and the huge terrace, it will feel like those are giants and I'm a little dwarf. And there were so many stories associated with them. One of the favorite most building happens to be Writers Building. The one that is totally red in color, that is there in beside Dalhousie. And over there, why that is my favorite, is a story that I heard from my mother on Binoy Badol Dinesh, who changed the lives of the revolutionaries in the Bengal during the Indian independence. The way they have encountered innumerable number of policemen was really recommendable. And hence, whenever I grew big, when I visit Lal Bazar, when I visit Dalhousie, it's always that story, that old story I go back to. Thank you so much. And over to you, Madam Mahashwata.
Yes, being in Calcutta, I can understand your emotion. I have been there, so I know what happens when you go by the side of those buildings. And next comes Toastmaster Kritika. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Toastmaster Kritika, the table topic for you is memory of your grandparents, which you want to share. Memory of your grandparents, which you want to share.
Okay. Thank you, Table Topic Master. There are actually a lot of memories to share, and I am not able to decide which memory to share, but I'll surely share one particular moment, and why I will share that, I'll share at the end of my topic. So I remember I was in standard 7. At that time, I just changed my school. I was in new school, and my grandfather was not well. Like he was having some of the illusion or something like that. Like he was trying to say something, but nobody would use to understand what he is trying to say. And we used to say maybe he is mentally retarded now and he has grown old at this age. And before that, he was very respectable person. So as a child, at that time, I was not able to understand why is it happening? Why is it so, like he is so old person, and like why is this whole happening? And people are telling him that his time is up and he is like right now doing that. So in his final days, like this was going on, and he was hospitalized, and the hospital was next to my new school. So every morning I used to go first to the hospital, see him. I used to make him feel good and then go to the hospital. And after being in 7 days in hospital, he died. At that this time, this whole thing was very confusing for me, like what is happening and all that thing. And from there, it was always that I wanted to learn about this health, well-being, and all that thing, how it plays a role, what affects, and all that. So this is a particular reason that this was one trigger which inspired me to do what I'm doing today. Thank you, and back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kritika. Yes, some incidents change the way we look into life. Please volunteer, Toastmasters. Now, otherwise I'll pick and choose. Please volunteer. All the statements are related to you all. Yeah?
Yeah, I have given my name, Vandana.
Okay, Toastmaster Vandana, can we have you? Yeah. One old actor of yesteryears whom you want to have a date. One old actor of yesteryears whom you want to have a date.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahasweta. The old actor whom I would like to date is Jitendra. He was my favorite from my childhood. I always liked him very much. Like his lips. If we say about his lips, he always made his lips in a way which I really liked. And the way he danced, everything, I had a attraction towards him. I would really love to date with him. I just want to share an incident. Once I was attending a marriage party. There, a man, not exactly man, he was a boy at that time. I was looking at him. He was just resembling Jitendra. And I was just looking again and again at him. And when I came near him, when he came near me, I realized his lips were some defect. It was but he has some problems in his lips, which was looking like Jitendra. So I felt very bad. And this was, but now I'm really attracted to Jitendra. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vandana. Now I will be very fast. So I would like to call Toastmaster Kalpita. Can we have you fast?
Yes.
Toastmaster Kalpita, quickly, an age-old practice or a remedy which rescued you many times. An age-old remedy or practice which rescued you many times.
Well, there are some remedies or practices that we have learned from our childhood, probably from mother or from grandparents. And yes, one which really comes to my mind instantly is like whenever we used to have any kind of, little bit of, we used to catch cold, okay, and would feel like a little sick. Then there were some practices that I follow at my home, and definitely I make my son also follow. Like we take, many people here does the same thing. We take hot water with adrak and honey, or the oil, the mustard oil with that green, with that black mustards. You have to smash it in among your hands, and then you smell that the one which is coming out of the vapor. And once you detect that vapor, the nose opens. So this relieves you from cold very fast. So these are some of the practices definitely I keep on doing. And many other practices are of course there, which I prefer to continue, especially when we all know that we are in this pandemic situation, and definitely we are afraid of catching cold or any kind of thing that make us fall sick or ill. So keep on practicing such old techniques. And I really thank my parents My mother to have taught me such techniques that have helped me and my family many a times. I'm not able to see the timer, so I'm sorry, I'm continuing. Over to you, my Toastmaster Maheshweta, our table topic master.
Thank you. And can we have Toastmaster Shruti now, quickly?
Yes.
Yes. Toastmaster Shruti, the table topic for you. After 10 years, when WIN will be old, where you want your club to be?
It is circa 2031, and we are perhaps having our 600th meeting. We all are dressed in gorgeous dresses, wearing our favorite shades of lipsticks, the wonderful perfume, and singing and dancing somewhere in Calcutta, and or maybe somewhere in Delhi, in Hyderabad, Bangalore, anywhere, because this is an online club. And all of us, our team is growing strength to strength. And some of us have become distinguished Toastmasters, have taken up district council roles, and some of us have taken the path of being motivational speakers. Some of us have our YouTube channel. Perhaps Toastmaster Kritika is working on her own venture. Toastmaster Jayati is going to open her second hospital in Calcutta. Toastmaster Amrita has become a DTM following the role of her partner. Toastmaster Priyanka is there, continuing to be the president of the club. Toastmaster Vandana is working on joining another club because she's so done with WIN by now, because Jitendra is not going to be a part of this club. Toastmaster Sangeeta is now taking up evaluation workshops. Toastmaster Ruchira is coming once in a blue moon because she's very, very busy. She has become one high executive in some huge company. Toastmaster Nasima is now taking sessions on Toastmaster of the Day and how do you perform the best Toastmaster of the Days. Toastmaster Kalpita has become another distinguished Toastmaster. Toastmaster Nilu, Toastmaster Charu, Toastmaster Mahashweta, Toastmaster Deepti, and our team is growing. Seema, Tina, Gita, Meena, Meera, Christiana, whatever, our team is growing. And I'm so glad to see you all here. And wait, do I see any gray? Do I see any gray, or do I see any gray cells inside? Yes, we all are growing with the grays of our lives, because life is more than the colors. Life is all about the grays. And with this, I would now like to ask Toastmaster Mahashweta, did you like what you were doing in 2031? Over to you.
Yes, always. And now I have to close it. Otherwise, we are running short of time. So apologies to all the other Toastmasters. I could not call you today. And thank you, Shruti, for showing us the future. And I just hope that, yes, we could do like that. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Amrita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mahashweta, for this wonderful session of table topics. Amazing topics where everybody wanted to open their hearts to all of us. And with that, of course, we love the closing. I love the grays. And with those grays, Priyanka has taken us to her grandmother. Toastmaster Priyanka has taken us to her grandmother. And that's what I was going to next. After the old things, the old wine, the old cheese, and the old saris, and old pens, of course, what comes next is the older generation in our houses. The mothers, the aging fathers, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, and an extended old family that we have. Old, frail, weak. But so many fantastic memories etched in our hearts with all of them. Our aunts, our uncles, somebody has one person close, somebody has the other one. We're close to either of them, somebody. And at times it's an entire gang, basket full of aunts. They're all oldies, but very close to our hearts. Those little frocks that they brought us. The wonderful stories that they told us. Some little tradition that they taught us someday. They are all that we treasure and we will continue to keep with us forever. Yes, there comes an end to all beautiful things. And what if one of these is not with us? May God bless all our oldies with wonderful, healthy, happy life. But yes, we miss some of the others in our family. I lost my grandmother when I was in grade 3. I lost my aunt-in-law a long back. And I lost my father-in-law recently. I lost my uncle 3 years back. All of these are very, very close to my heart. Very, very close. And especially when the people walk away. They leave very sweet memories to kindle. No matter how much you felt irritated, no matter how bothered you were at times with certain habits of theirs. When they walk away, they leave that sweet trail of memories, which we want to linger very closely, and then we smile back. So that's what we look forward to these days, offering to our gone, the strings, the close love of our lives that have left us. Now, this tells me, yes, of course, Hindu mythology, we all know, we are offering these days to our ancestors, Shraddh Paksha, of course. There are times I have heard mixed opinions of things, and that's what tells me and has triggered me to look forward to what happens elsewhere. Do they just forget their old people who are gone? Is it only us who keep them cherished close? And there are times when people have told me that we won't let them go. People who believe in spirits say, you're not letting them go. So that triggered a little research into things, and I came across an All Souls Day, which is usually celebrated on the 2nd of November, all across. All Souls Day. Italy celebrates their ancestors by setting off an empty place at their tables. Their tables would have that chair, that plate for their ancestors that day. How beautiful. Poland, everybody gathers at the graves and they offer flowers to the dead and gone. Cambodia, very close to us. They have monks chanting sutras like we call the Panditji for Shraddh. Isn't that beautiful? Nepal has a very peculiar tradition of Gai Jatra. Gai Jatra, where the family who has lost a person in their family in the past year, they have a cow dressed up, and the cow is led by the family on the streets of Nepal. And that's how everybody gets to know that this family was mourning this year. China celebrates or dedicates a day to their ancestors, I must say, and is called the Ghost Festival. Yes, all of us who were very scared when we were kids. Yes, of course, we are now starting to face realities. I've heard of people who are very scared when somebody passes away. Ghost Festival is also about ancestors, and yes, they're not scared. They don't run away that day. They offer their ancestors on this special day. It's a 200-year-old tradition that they follow. Japan celebrates this day as Obon Day. A beautiful name when they make everything around beautiful, hanging lanterns everywhere. And the basic reason of hanging these lanterns is to guide these spirits home. Very close to our lighting of lamps at the doorstep. So with that, I look forward to wonderful traditions that we keep close to our heart, dedicate these days to our ancestors, wishing all our older generation a very healthy and happy life ahead. I call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amrita, for conducting this wonderful, wonderful session. And we were definitely taken down, not taken down, taken through the memory lane. And we definitely reminisce those moments. Nostalgia became a part of our personalities, at least for this Sunday evening. Thank you so much. With this, I would now like to call upon stage the first evaluator, Toastmaster.
Hi, Toastmaster Shruti. Sorry to interrupt, but we did not launch the table topic polls yet. Can we do that?
I would like to ask the timer first, then, that if all of them are qualified or not.
Thank you, General Evaluator. All the participants are qualified in table topics as well as in prepared speech.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And is the same thing with the evaluation section also?
Evaluation session is not conducted yet.
Oh, sorry. Look at that. Thank you so much. Trying to be more futuristic about things because I was in 2031 already. Well, moving ahead, please launch the poll for table topics so that we can see.
We have the results. We can move. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. With this, I would now like to call upon stage the first evaluator of the prepared speech section. I would now like to invite Toastmaster Charulata on stage.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear speaker, Toastmaster Vandana. Toastmaster Vandana, your speech was very useful speech and had epiphany of awareness. And it was nice to note that my speaker has been involved in conducting several awareness programs like Good Touch, Bad Touch, Gita Spiritual Session, and etc. And also she shared a short story from Ramayana with a powerful message. Our little efforts may not change the world, but can change the world of a person. Now, what I liked in your speech is the delivery, is that you engage the audience with a question. What will you do if somebody spat on you? Like that, it was a really very nice starting. And you had good eye contacts. And the language you used was simple that others could understand easily. Now let me share some suggestions that I felt can be improved. Firstly, you spoke about several awareness programs. Also, what you could have done is you could have showed the pictures, the occasional pictures you would have clicked. Those pictures, it would have made more impact. Now, secondly, in the beginning, about the voice modulation, what I have to say is, in the beginning, you asked a question. I felt your voice could have been more bold whenever you asked a question. You could have asked like, what do you think? What do you feel? Or like that sort of boldness in your voice. Also, you shared some, emotional incidents. There you could have expressed that on your face. And also when you were talking about the happiness in that old age home, you could have showed that on your face. The old age home, always so happy, like that. You could have expressed it very nicely. Now, one last suggestion is that your speech had several incidents and also a story. In Toastmaster speech, we always suggest that if a speech had only one or two examples, it would be easy for the audience to understand and not confused to what you want to convey. So Toastmaster Vandana, your speech had a good message to convey, and with my small suggestions considered, I feel you are going to be a great speaker. And I wish you all the very best in your future speeches. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Charulata. That was a crisp and a tight evaluation, and I appreciate your effort in helping the speaker to grow and move forward. With this, I have a few things to add on, like an icing on the cake or a cherry on the top. So for Toastmaster Vandana, the speaker, I would like to add one thing that all, in fact, that is a collective feedback for everyone in this meeting who all are attending the meeting from their phones, to either place it in a horizontal fashion. You can try it. I'm not sure whether it will work properly or not, but when you place it in a horizontal fashion, then you have more space for a stage choreography. Yes, Mahashweta, it works. Thank you so much for trying it all right away. And that helps the speaker to show more of their hand movements, which is very important for everyone to understand what they feel. Because in on a virtual platform, we are unable to see the entire body language. All we see is the face, your moving lips, and just the hands. And also, some of us have bad lighting, terrible laptop cameras, at least I have, and which is why I have to make an extra effort to pop my face out there. So it helps you to give you more space horizontally. For Vandana, as a speaker and as you embarking upon this journey of Toastmaster, this was a wonderful speech, but there is always a room for improvement wherein you can include more of instances of from your own life, because we as Toastmasters want to connect with you, with want to know about what was your experience in that workshop that you had. Did you come across anything not unusual but anything different? Did you have a takeaway message for you yourself, because your speech was more of awareness, like a speech, and that helped us to pause, reflect, and think. So that would have helped us. So these two things for you. And Toastmaster Charulata, you have been a champ all the way, and it was wonderful to see you evaluate someone. I have one small thing that you can add, is that when you tell the speaker about where they can improve, show one instance how they can improve and how they can incorporate your suggestion so that it helps them to visualize that. With this wonderful speech, wonderful evaluation, and I have no other adjective to place in here. With this, I would now like to call upon stage the evaluator of the second speaker, Toastmaster Jayati, on stage.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, ladies Toastmasters. And since we have no guests, so thank you, Toastmaster Kritika, for making me evaluate your speech. It was a wonderful, wonderful time for me to sit here and listen to you. Effective communication is 20% what you know and 80% how you feel about what you know. So I loved so many things about your speech today. Your clarity, voice clarity, spot on, check, vocal variety, great. Your eye contact with the audience, you stood and you gave your speech, which is a huge plus point, and I applaud you for that. Is superb. Your comfort level with the audience is great. The way you were weaving, you were telling the stories, it was lovely. You were engaging the audience. It was beautiful. You started off with questions, which is a wonderful way of starting off your speech. Wonderful. Kudos to you on that. Misunderstanding happens when different people interpret you in different ways. I love this line of yours. Infants' cries, how the infants' cries relate to their feelings, his or her feelings, communicate. That is another point which you made, which I love. You explained the initiative style, the analytical style, the supportive style. I love that too. Just a few observations, just like Toastmaster Kritika, when you're weaving a garland, you need a good needle, you need a lovely thread, and you need fresh flowers. The needle shouldn't be blunt, the thread should be strong, and the flowers should be absolutely fresh. Only then the full beauty of the garland comes forth. In that way, I would like to put forward a few observations which I have observed. You said you did not, when you were saying initiative, analytical, and supportive, you did not mention the fourth style, that is the direct style, but you explained it later. So if you could, when you're saying there are 4 styles: initiative, analytical, supportive, and direct, we tend to forget. It's okay, no problem. Okay. Now, it was not very clear about your primary style of communication. I was not very clear about it. Another observation I thought was in the question and answer session, before you give your speech, contact the person you're going to talk to and tell them, okay, Toastmaster Kalpita, I'm going to ask you this question. You give me this crisp answer, so that you are saved much more time and you can incorporate much more details in your speech, and you have ample time to finish your speech comfortably, which you did today, but it is an observation from my side. So with this, I think you have a great speech. You are very good at speaking. You are very comfortable standing there and speaking. All the very best to you. And with my observations, I'm sure you will go much, much, much higher notches, and you have completed your objectives of your speech, of your project. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful and crisp and tight and consolidated evaluation, Jayati. Thank you so much. And Kritika, your speech was very engrossing. It was very much inclusive. By inclusive, I mean you tried everyone and made sure that everyone participates in your speeches. I have one feedback for you, Kritika. One was where you can place your mobile phone in the horizontal fashion so that you have more space there. Second thing is, when you talk about the questions to the speaker, instead of randomly picking the speakers, I was the one who was picked. Instead of randomly picking the speakers, try to incorporate them into the conversation. That helps. I was able to come up with an answer that will help you to have more audience engagement. Try to engage with the speaker whom you are targeting to ask a question. Or the other part that people do, or the Toastmasters do, is prepare the audience and tell them that I would be asking questions if you think that people are not comfortable answering you while being on stage. So that helps you to get nice answers from the audiences and also fills the objective of being interactive with the audience. And for Toastmaster Jayati, right now, I think you are doing a fabulous job and your evaluation was tight and consolidated. However, since the contests are coming and I would like to see you there being a participant or a contestant there, and that goes out to Dr. Toastmaster Charulata as well, that I would request you, whoever, who people who are taking up more of evaluations, to follow a certain pattern. Usually people follow CRC approach. You can follow any approach which is more consolidated, which is more comprehensive. See, in CRC approach, you usually have commendations, recommendations, and commendations, and then summarizing the entire evaluation. That will help the speaker to get a take-home message, to understand where they were good at, and also to have a room for improvement. With this, I would now like to move on to the table topics, or I would now like to move on to the table topics and then go to the 4 people who have supported me through and through. The first table topic speaker was Toastmaster Nilu. Toastmaster Nilu spoke on point because she shared her story about how she was able to time travel in the memories. One thing, Niluji, that I have to tell you is that you can be more personal when you're sharing your stories in table topics. I understand that it becomes difficult to be able to connect some dots with the topic with your personal stories. For that, I would request you to have 4 or 5 incidents from your personal life or from anything that you would want to share ready on your fingertips, so that you can quickly connect it and people feel more associated with your table topic speech. Next was Toastmaster Priyanka. I want to see Toastmaster Priyanka and I want to understand where is she sitting on that nice, she's not around. Okay. I had been very observant about Toastmaster Priyanka. She was nicely sitting and chatting and having a nice gala time on that nice chair that she was sitting around, plants and everything. So much greenery was there. So her speech, her table topic speech was short. It was right on point on the topic, One thing that I would wanted to add to her speech was that she could have added a conclusion. Now that she's not here, I would not elaborate anymore. Next, moving to Toastmaster Kritika. Wow, memories. I want to sing a song here. Memories bring back you. Yes, that song is a recent by Sugar 5 or something. And that is a wonderful song. And Toastmaster Kritika, one thing that I like about your table topic speeches is that you always try to make it a point that you start from here, you go round and round and round, and then you circle back to the initial point. And sometimes you create that connect that I'm going to share X and will tell you why I'm sharing this and connect you there. And you do it. And that's a brilliant thing to be able to do in 120 seconds, Kritika. So keep it up. Please keep on doing this. Toastmaster Vandana. Toastmaster Vandana was wonderful with the recent, not the recent, but the old crush for not Toastmaster, but Jitendra, the actor Jitendra. I would have loved to see you show one Jintak step from Jitendra's song like Tafa, 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 Laya, Laya, Laya. If anyone remembers that song, or maybe wear that white pant or shirt. Okay, we cannot do that, but that was wonderful. I was expecting a little more energy because you were talking about, come on, Jitendra. He was the power pack, energy dynamite. So I was expecting a little more energy, but that's okay. You are wonderful. And please keep coming back to the stage for 2 minutes. These 2 minutes can change your life phenomenally. Trust me, ladies. So come to the stage, Toastmaster Vandana, more often. Next was Toastmaster Kalpita talking about old age traditions and practices, and she was sharing about some opening of nose. I was wondering whether we can also open our minds by some old age tradition or something. But unfortunately, I don't think that is there. I would have loved if you would have added something related to a person. You shared there were old age traditions, but I would have loved, whom did you learn it from your mother, grandmother, from your father, from your child, anyone. So what happens is when you associate it with the person, again, I would now like to tell you that we all are humans and we all are looking for human connections. So that would have made an impact. I now remember that you put mustard seeds and sniff that oil and it opens your nose and not brain. But it would have been great if you would have added, whom did you learn this nuskha from? Whom did you learn this age-old tradition from? So that would have added a little luster. The next speaker was me, myself. I would love to see if anyone would have any feedback for me, and they can share it with me offline. And yes, this compiles the entire table topic session. And now we are left with the 4 important soldiers of the evaluation team. And with this, I would now like to ask Toastmaster Nasima if quickly about the report and share it with us.
Thank you, General Evaluator. My report are as follows. Prepared speech. Toastmaster Vandana took 6 minutes 30 seconds. Toastmaster Kritika took 6 minutes 57 seconds. In table topics, Toastmaster Nilu took 2 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster Priyanka 1 minute 33 seconds. Toastmaster Kritika 1 minute 53 seconds. Toastmaster Vandana 1 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Kalpita 2 minutes 4 seconds, and Toastmaster Shruti 2 minutes 14 seconds. And in evaluation session, Toastmaster Charu took 3 minutes 1 second, and Toastmaster Jayati took 3 minutes 27 seconds. That's all from my end. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator. All are qualified.
Wonderful. All are qualified. And with this, I would now like to call upon stage the R counter and to let us know how many of us were happy with the R's or were sad with the R's. Toastmaster Deepti.
Yeah, today I observed so many R's, sound R and as well. First Toastmaster of the day, Amrita said so many and R's. And then Toastmaster Vandana, R's, Kritika as well, Toastmaster Kritika, R's. And Toastmaster table topic, Shweta and Toastmaster Shweta said R so many times, and Toastmaster Charu as well. And Toastmaster Nasima and Sangeeta not Sangeeta, sorry, listening Toastmaster Kalpita also said ours, and Toastmaster Shruti 2 times ours, and Toastmaster Priyanka ours, and Toastmaster Nilu Sharma also ours. Only was the sound today, was the most prominent sound today, I observed. Thank you. And over to you, General Evaluator, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti, and we will make sure, all of us, that we only spit out loud the ahs and ums which are surprising and not as a part of the crutch word battalion. And that was a wonderful role played. I would request you, all of you, to show a heart or a clap sign, because Toastmaster Deepti was playing this role for the first time and she's a newly inducted Toastmaster here, and we would love to see her more often. Thank you so much. With this, I would now like to call upon stage someone who took care of my backache, my languages backache. Yes, I'm talking about Toastmaster Sangeeta, who is the grammarian of the evening. Toastmaster Sangeeta, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Here's my report. Many Toastmasters use the word of the day epiphany. Toastmaster Shruti, Toastmaster Kritika, Toastmaster Priyanka, Toastmaster Nasima, Toastmaster Dipti, Toastmaster Mahashweta, and Toastmaster Charulata. So now here's my report for the words or sentences that can be termed in a better way. Like gutka can be termed as tobacco. Put a huge round of applause can be give a huge round of applause. He will not be bothered can be he will not be bothered. Then matters me can be matters to me. Day on day can be day by day or day to day. Showing the future we can say as giving an insight or vision of the future. Some good usage of words are like pearls of wisdom, inequitable, nostalgia, then cherry on the cake, then one quote that for weaving a garland, you need a good needle, strong needle, and fresh flowers. That's from my side. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sangeeta. And with this, I would not call upon stage the listening master. You have to wait because you will have to do more of listening. And let me evaluate the Toastmaster of the day and the table topic master. And with that, we can wrap up the evaluation section. And at least I can also sit back and enjoy the listening section. Okay, which is why I'm not going to call you right now here. Okay, moving to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Amrita, I am amazed by the way you have consolidated the theme together, bringing out 3 different parts of the theme where you mentioned about cherishing memories by way of objects, cherishing memories by way of stories, and cherishing memories by way of people. And that is something that we always do, but we do not know how to categorize it. And you made us show that mirror in front of our eyes. Wonderful. Some of us shared wonderful stories with each other, and that was something that I always look forward to, because what are we? We all are walking stories. However, there is always some room for improvement, like I always say, because that is the biggest room, bigger than my stomach's diameter. So with this, I would like to tell you 3 important points as a Toastmaster of the evening to take care of. Number 1 is the introduction of the people who are participating in the meeting. I understand that you perhaps had crunch of time or you were not able to do it, but just as a reminder to you that take the introduction, that helps the speakers, the participants to feel warm on stage. And that is especially useful for the newer participants in the meetings. Second thing is, try to be more interactive with the audiences. When you share a story about, say, a memory of your grandmother, ask people about their grandmother. Be as specific as you can with the questions. People are not used to open-ended questions, otherwise they derail themselves. They have derailed thoughts and they will not answer what you want. Be as specific as you can, and I am telling you this specific feedback because I know you can incorporate in your next session. The third thing is, you were wonderful, Amrita. Please keep coming back on stage. We would love to see you more often playing the role of table topic of the day. With this, I would love to give you a huge round of applause to play this role. Moving to the next table topic, master. And I can very well see the next Toastmaster of the evening. Toastmaster Momita is not there, but I would request Toastmaster Eva to make a note that Toastmaster Mahashweta should play a role, team mod, in the next meeting. Because the way she could connect the dots with the theme of the meeting, the way she presented the topics, and the way she was very consistent with, quickly I want to see here. And she was consistently, I think, managing the time with Toastmaster of the evening so that she wraps it on time. And that's very important because we tend to lose ourselves in table topics. We think those are 2 minutes, but that was very important and a brilliantly done part on Toastmaster Mahashweta's part. I loved the topics. I loved the way you presented it. I loved after every line, after every topic, you gave a remark, and that helped the speaker to feel comfortable and come back on stage more often. With this, let's move on to the evaluation of the 3 role players that who played the role of timer, counter, and grammarian. Toastmaster Nasima, wonderfully done. And again, I tell you girls that please come on stage more often. Claim your space. Just claim it, because no one is going to give it to you. You have to take that space. And to claim your space, you need to learn how to speak effectively. You need to learn how to not be the noise, but be the voice of any room. And with this, I would now like to congratulate Nasima for playing the role of timer so wonderfully. Please give her a huge round of applause. And we love to see her speak, and we love to see her calm and composure whenever she is in the meetings. I would now like to add one more thing, the tactical advice here, Nasima, that please either pin yourself or whoever is taking care of the tech master role, please pin the timer on stage. And perhaps when you are starting the timer, share your screen as green so that people know that the timer has started and they are still under the green range. Once the range moves to the yellow range, you change it to yellow and then to the red, or gray, green, yellow, and red. That will help the speaker to visualize their speech, and they can start concluding it when they see the green card. All right. So that was one feedback. And I think thankfully everyone was in time, but had it been storytellers, it would have been difficult for them to conclude the speeches.
Toastmaster Shruti, I have a...
Who is this?
I have a doubt, Toastmaster Shruti.
Yeah, tell me.
Nasima.
Yeah, tell me.
Actually, when I'm showing the green card, I have to be with that green card till it comes to yellow, or I have to go back to the normal one?
No. If you show the green card, from in the green range, change it to yellow card the moment it moves to the yellow range, the starting of the yellow range.
When I'm showing the green card at 1 minute, till from 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, I have to be in the green card, or I have to go back to the some other normal background?
No. Go to the green card. Keep on showing the green card.
Green card, okay.
Yeah. So I will tell you.
Okay, today I showed.
You went back to the usual one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in the physical meetings, what happens, girls, that the moment you start talking, there are no cards by the timer. And in physical meetups, this is like a chair system or a bench system or however system. People are sitting and the speaker can see everyone. And the moment the time ranges into the green card, they show green card like this. They will keep on showing it until it changes to, so it's like one exercise for the timer also. So they show this card here. And as soon as the range moves to the yellow card, they change it to yellow. And then the speaker is continuously seeing it until this yellow range ends. And then when the red range comes in, they change it to red. So that's how we should do it in the virtual sessions as well. I hope it has made the point clear for everyone else as well. So for the R counter, I have no feedback. Love to see you more often. For Toastmaster Sangeeta, wonderfully done. Mending my back, mending our back of the language. English says thank you to you. And with this, I would now like to wrap up my evaluation session and hand over the stage to Toastmaster Kalpita. One small suggestion that I have for the entire EC, that we should not include the listening master as a part of the evaluation, because that is the fun part of WIN. So we should not include the listening master's role as a part of the evaluation. So we'll discuss it further, and let's make a note of this. Over to you, Toastmaster Kalpita.
Thank you, General Evaluator Shruti. Well, let me just tell you one thing. There was the entire session, apart from enjoying it, there was so much of information that I was keeping on noting down so many things. Suddenly triggered the epiphany that there are too many questions and then I have to cut it short, because also the time is important and we have to keep it on time. I mean, I suppose, right? Well, I come up with the questions. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Thank you. First, our TMOD had said that the old man had started the ship with an instrument. I suppose we all know that, the instrument.
Hammer.
Yes, right. Thank you so much. I think TM Jayati, right? I don't, TM Jayati, right? Okay. Next, what was the bill amount that the old man had charged? Total bill amount.
$20,000.
Yes, that's easy. Can you divide now? Can you segregate it? How much for
2,000 and 18,000?
Yes, correct. Absolutely. Applause to you. Next question. I'll just skip on that question. Sorry. Yes, the next question is, TM Vandana had conducted some kind of sessions during the last lockdown with the kids and the parents. What was the session all about?
It's about good touch and bad touch.
Yes, TM Nasima, absolutely right. Next, while sharing the story of Hanuman, there was another animal who was assisting the Hanuman in a very, in his humble, sorry?
Squirrel.
Yes, TM Charu. Good. Next, TM Kritika had shared 4 types of communication skills, out of which she had mentioned one as Mr. Perfectionist. I suppose we know that. What was the skill? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last one.
Analytical.
Analytical, right. Absolutely right. Thank you. Next is another thing. TM Nasima had shared some old material that she had carried and taken a picture with. What was that old material?
Sari.
Her mother's sari, correct. Now, according to TM Deepti, she had also kept an old thing as a treasure, which she had polished.
Kajal container.
Surma.
Yeah, it's a surma bottle or something that she had mentioned, right? And finally, our TM Shruti had told us a year when we will celebrate together happily, well, after improving ourselves throughout the sessions. And
2031.
Yes,
2031.
2031, correct. And that's all. I've just noted a few of the questions right now in front of you. Thank you so much, and applause to all of you.
Thank you. Are we having the polls now?
Yeah, technically we should, for the evaluator, speech evaluator.
And as we prepare for the polls of the roles, I take over, striking those strings of apples. I want to touch on those families of apples sitting in your houses. The Apple phone, Apple iPad, the iPods, and so many of them. Now, when we are so lavish with our Apple families, even then, we go back to that age-old yoga and meditation for that peace of mind, for that unwinding of ourselves and our brains. And that's what old is all about. But on the contrary, not all is gold. There have been wars, there have been famines, there have been injustice in past. So yes, now I bring forward the wisdom in you, the wise person inside all of us, the new in you, the old there, the best of old there. Let's amalgamate all of them. May God give you all the power and wisdom to amalgamate them, mix them, blend them well, and use them for the betterment of everyone all around. With that, thank you so much. I request our president, Toastmaster Ruchira, are you with us?
No, she is busy with some other work and I would like to take over the podium.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Eva.
Let us all unmute ourselves and give a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amrita, for enriching us so well throughout the session. Toastmaster Shruti rightly said, we would love to see you again and again playing the role of a Toastmaster of the day and for enriching and enlightening us throughout the session. Now, I would like to release the polls and I request everyone to kindly vote in. Firstly, I'll be releasing the poll of the best evaluator. So here it goes. I have the results. Thank you everyone. Second is role players category 1, 2, and most improved speaker. It's launched. Okay, so I might have written the Sergeant at Arms Charulata, so please apologies for that, and I would request everyone to kindly adjust it, and instead of it, please vote in if you feel like. And the Sergeant at Arms,
our counter is Toastmaster Amrita there.
Just a second, I might have released the wrong code. Just a second. Extremely sorry.
No issues.
Okay, so we have table topic. We have, okay, yeah, it's good to go now. Is it okay? Is the poll visible to everyone? Because I have launched it and I cannot see votes coming in. Okay, so we have 9 out of 14 people have voted. So let's keep it up for more 10 seconds and then we'll close them. Okay, so with this, we have the results and I would now like to close the poll. Yeah, so the best speaker for today's evening is Toastmaster Kritika. Let us all unmute ourselves and give a huge round to all the winners. So I request everyone please be unmuted. And she has won with a huge margin. So give it up, Toastmaster Kritika. Next, the best evaluator is Toastmaster Jayati. Let's keep it up for Toastmaster Jayati.
Thank you.
Best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Shruti. Best role player category 1 is our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amrita.
Yes.
Best role play category 2 is Toastmaster Kalpita. And the most improved speaker is a tie between Toastmaster Nasima and Toastmaster Mahashweta. With this, I would like to end the meeting, and the room is open for all the chit chat. Please go ahead, and I'll stop the recording as well. Thank you.